gamers all across the earth, the flat earth. During these times, I've been trying year for the airsoft as an industry, and it seems like G&G is the only one really putting out new guns. So let's take a look at this week's spicy meme. Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Boaz here with another gun review. And today we're going to be looking at G&G's newest pistol caliber carbine on the market, the PCC45. Now, I know that you know, that I know, that we all know, that G&G is, they're trying to copy something. They're trying to give a couple nods to a very famous weapon out there.
I think it looks pretty impressive.
Get out.
Okay.
Now before we get into the overview of this gun, if you haven't already, please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and give it a thumbs up if you like the content that we create. Guys, hitting the subscribe button and also pressing the like button helps boost the analytics of this channel, so that way our content can be featured more regularly into your recommended feed. And if you guys want to support the channel directly, make sure to always stop by Airsoft GI for all of your airsoft needs. Now, as we all know by looking at this gun, it's clearly trying to copy a very famous looking gun model from like the late 90s to early 2000s. And like other real life counterparts out there, like in Call of Duty, we have the Striker, right? And then you have, I believe Post Malone was using the LWRC SMG 45, which this gun kind of resembles in one way or another. So I think it's pretty cool that G&G is taking what we would call like an older aging platform, kind of bringing it up to the modern age. And so we have, just like the real counterpart, we have a polymer body. So in this case, G&G, I'll give you a pass. And you got this very familiar looking folding stock, which in my opinion, I think the length of pull is kind of too long for me because I have very short arms. And you have a full metal M-LOK rail up here in the front with these nice M-LOK cutouts between the 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and also the 9 o'clock positions. And one interesting design note that I might add is that they just kind of continue this M-LOK kind of pattern down to the upper receiver, which is very interesting. I mean, it'll be pretty hilarious if you could use M-LOK on this. Like, I would for sure put a foregrip on that. Now, getting more detailed into the receiver set here, obviously we have this very much flared magwell, just so you won't miss those reloads. And we have this interesting little finger cutout over here. So when you put your gun at a resting position or ready position, you can rest your fingers over here without having to slip. I don't know if that's really an issue or not. And you got your typical enlarged trigger guard over here. And let me tell you about this chonky magazine. I believe out of the box, this is a 110 round mid-cap magazine. Now, one thing I might add about this magazine, even though it's very familiar or very similar looking to like an Airsoft UMP style magazine, this magazine is proprietary, which again, I don't know why they had to go with that. Like, I don't know why they couldn't just keep it compatible with other existing UMP style magazines on the market, but that's just what G&G did, and shame on you, G&G. Next up, we have this very nice 45 ACP engraved ejection port, just to give Elmer Fudd that respect that he deserves, And over here on the top of the upper receiver, you have this ambidextrous kind of folding charging handle, which is nice because it gets out of the way, it doesn't snag on your gear, and when you need to access it, oh, that's smooth. That's probably one of the smoothest charging handles I've pulled on an AEG. And then you have this nice kind of subdued bolt release over here on either side, again, fully ambidextrous. And you just drop that and, oh, hold on. Oh, that's very satisfying. Okay, I will say this is a lot nicer than a lot of bolt catches and bolt releases out here on the airsoft market. And like I said before, this gun's fully ambidextrous, so you will be able to access this bolt release on either side of the gun, as well as the fire selector, which you can access from, again, both sides of the gun. Okay, so the PCC45 is a front wired gun, so the battery is going to be stored in the front handguard. Now, before you remove it or try to access a battery compartment, just keep in mind this whole thing is going to slide off the barrel of the gun. So if you have a mock suppressor unit or a tracer unit, anything chonky that's going to be blocking it sliding out, again, you want to remove that before you remove the handguard. So if you reach into the bottom of this handguard, there's this little latch, or a very thick latch, and all you do is just pull down, makes a nice, very satisfying thunk, And then you're just gonna shimmy it out, completely hassle-free. It's nice and tight, just, yeah, just so tight. There you go, and it just slides right off, and you have access to this dedicated battery tray, which I think is really nice. It hides the battery compartment, you know, so it doesn't look all super janky inside your handguard. Very good idea, G&G. Thank you for being so forward thinking, but bruh. Tamiya, really? You went through all this trouble to make a battery tray and this really cool handguard system, and then you just had to, why? You should have wired it to Dean's. What's going on, G&G? Looking at the battery tray that G&G offers for the PCC45, it's pretty much designed for a stick-type LiPo battery, so an 11-1 LiPo is probably what we will recommend for this gun. And once you finish installing your battery, all you have to do is slide this rail back on. So you just carefully, gingerly, gently, carefully, gingerly, lovingly, just slide this bad boy back onto the main body of the gun, and then make sure this little secondary latch is attached to this bigger latch over here, and just voila. Well, that was really satisfying. I like that. So internally, what is this gun rocking? Because of its unique body style, does it have a proprietary gearbox? Actually, it does not. It is running G&G's latest G2 gearbox, which, if you watch our comparison video of the ARP9 versus the Classic Army PXG9, we did address that the ARP9 internally was kind of lacking a lot of things, and so G&G, lo and behold, listened to feedback and they've updated their internal system. So if you want to learn more about the G2 gearbox and what it has to offer, you can find it on our video that we did with the SSG1 and the G&G 308. They use the same gearbox, the same system, and it is fantastic, and it shoots very smooth, very snappy. Which, in that case, this is pretty much just internally another SSG1 or a 308, I guess. Okay, this is Taylor. He is our head tech here at Airsoft GI, as well as our resident HK fetishist. And he has, in the past, owned a plethora, a multitude of UMP-style guns in the past, both AEG and gas blowback. So Taylor, what do you think about the G&G PCC45? Does it pass the test? Do you like it? Does it pique your interest? Does it make you moist?
I know you want me to hate it, but I actually like it. It's everything I hate about the UMP and everything I hate about an AR all rolled into one.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Wait, I don't get it. So you hate stuff about the UMP and you hate stuff about the AR, and you said this is everything that you hate. So why do you like it?
Because I like it.
Wait, what? Okay, all right, just disregard that. I don't really know what to make of that opinion. Just go back down to your dungeon and stop! The G&G PCC45 chronos in at 330 to 350 FPS using 0.20 gram BBs and has a rate of fire of 22 rounds per second using an 11-1 LiPo. I think G&G, all they had to do was just take the SSG1 and package it into something that people would actually want to buy.
But you want the SSG1.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna be shooting this thing today. Not you. Okay folks, we're out here at the range and we are gonna test out the G&G PCC45. So we have a target set down range, roughly around 50 feet. That's probably like the most comfortable range I'd take this thing out on a field. We have 0.25 gram BBs loaded into this, as well as an 11-1 LiPo. So let's see how well this bad boy can shoot. All right. Okay, so first impressions right out of the gate. The trigger is a little spongy for me, but I mean that's an AEG. The trigger response is great though. Like, it's pretty snappy. I will say though, right now we're like barely using hop up. Like it's pretty much over hopping 2.5s, which I think is kind of nuts. But man, like that trigger is so snappable. Like you could just, like once you find that reset point, and you could literally just spam away at this thing. And especially for fields that don't allow full auto, like, I mean, this is great. All right, I'm switching to full auto. Woo! That rate of fire is pretty healthy, not gonna lie. I just wish the fields in my area allowed full auto. I will say though, this gun looks and feels fantastic for the most part. I will say the ergonomics wise, it's nice up here on the front, but for me personally, back here, it's not doing it for me. Like I have to, like the stock is just so, it just pushes me so far back. And also because I have really stubby arms. So if you guys have short arms like me, just be wary of that, you know, because it's using a German design stock and it's made for super tall German people, and I'm not one of them. So I will say though, it is kind of uncomfortable after holding it for a while. Like if I assume this position for a while, like if I'm watching down a corner or if I'm watching a lane for someone to come out, like eventually my arms are gonna get really tired just because it just forces me to stretch my arm and my neck out, and it's not a very ideal position for me. But man, that trigger response though. The G&G PCC45 retails for $285 at AirsoftGI.com. And please make sure to use that Wombo combo to get extra savings in Airsoft. My final thoughts on the PCC45 is, I think it's a really cool gun and I really, really want to like it. But the one thing that I've said multiple times already is just the length of pull, man. Like for me, it's too long. And when I hold the gun, you know, I want to try to be comfortable, but like everything is just so far from me. Like the sight picture changes and the way I hold the gun, like I'll get fatigued after holding this for a while out on the field. Like if they made some way to update the stock, maybe have a shorter stock, I would for sure want this in my Airsoft private collection. However, I mean, unless you're like over 6 feet tall and have long arms, it might be uncomfortable for you. I really do like the magazine. It looks really cool, especially with like the dummy browns in there. I think it's a really nice extra detail that G&G added. And it is a bit chonky, so for me, I kind of like that just because it's an easier reload for me, especially with that flared mag wall. But at the end of the day, just because it's uncomfortable for me, I'm not really sure how much I want to run this thing. Thank you guys for stopping by and checking out our overview on the G&G PCC45. Let me know what you think about this gun in the comments down below, and make sure to tune in every Wednesday and Friday when we upload new videos, and make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. This is Boaz from Airsoft GI, and we'll see you next time. Okay, so before we end today's video, we're going to be doing a weekly shooting challenge. So for this week, it's going to be the G&G PCC45 or any other Pistol Caliber Carbine style airsoft gun you have at home. And I have about 6 cans downrange, about 20 feet away. And I'm going to see how fast I can knock them all down. And I'm going to time myself. And if you guys can beat my time, submit it to us at AirsoftGI.com on our Instagram, and we'll send you a little something something. And go. All right, 11 seconds. I'll round it up to 11. I'll be nice. 11 seconds. If you can beat that, hit us up.
Hey, stop! Whoa! Oh, hey, what the? Stop! Give me that thing!
Stop wasting water.